struggles in every area of my life. I have victories in every area of my life. You know, we're all trying to make it all work down here, aren't we? So I want to talk about the ruthless rules of reality here. And look, how stressful is it when the end of the month comes and you're having trouble paying your bills, right? So many of us are in that predicament. And what about debt? I mean, come on, debt is awful. We should only be in debt to the one, right? Our creator. And so it's awful being in debt, right? What about your children's education? Maybe, you know, you'd like to do more for your kids or even your grandkids, and you're not able. And listen, don't be hard on yourself as I speak here. Don't put yourself in shame. And I'm going to explain something really important as to why we're in this situation, or many of us are anyways. Long-term savings plan, retirement fund, and some of you are reacting today. Are you kidding me, buddy? You don't know how hard it's been. I'm living month to month, right? I'm not saying I am, but many are, okay? And that's tough. And maybe, you know, some of you have done well. You've managed to rise above the fray, and good on you for that. You know, that doesn't come easy, but maybe there's a way to make that wealth work even more for you so you can climb and rise higher and do more good for the world. And what because the purpose of this video is to lead you to something, okay? But I want to give you the economic perspective first, but I'm talking about freedom lifestyle here. And freedom lifestyle is about not having to worry every month, every week, every day, every hour, scraping by on how you're going to make it in this world. It's not right. That's not God's design. Okay? So look, let's get into some education here. 4 phases of money: making it, saving it, growing it, protecting it. Where have we been weak? We've been weak in growing it. Now, maybe like you, like me, you've made some foolish mistakes. And maybe you've had some theft, some rip-offs, and maybe it's just the state of affairs in the world right now, or a combination of all three. Now listen, several years ago, I had the opportunity to interview G. Edward Griffin, the first guy to come out and tell us that, yes, the Federal Reserve is not a U.S. government institution, financial institution. It's a private banking cartel. Okay, go read it's a thick book, The Creature from Jekyll Island. He tells the whole story, okay? The whole central banking system is a private banking cartel, okay? And what has it done? It's allowed for the unlimited printing of money. That's right. Look, if you went down into your basement right now with a fancy photocopier and printed money and went out and spent it, what might happen to you? Yeah, you'd be thrown in jail. But the government does it, okay? Here's Ambassador Joby Gay in Toronto back in a couple weeks ago, talking about the real rates of inflation. Look at these numbers. Now, you're being told 6%, 5%, 7%. Okay, I want you to go to shadowstats.com and look up the real rate of inflation in your nation. It's double digits for sure. And if you want an even deeper education, go to The Hidden Secrets of Money by Mike Maloney, a free online, amazing video series that will educate you. You'll become as educated as he and I. Here's what's happening. Printing devalues the buying power of currency. Listen, we started printing in millions, then billions, now trillions. It's insanity, folks. You can't do anything about it from a government perspective, but you can for your own personal situation. The first step is education. The first step is understanding. Okay. Same with here. I'm Canadian. Look at the erosion of the buying power of the Canadian dollar. So y-axis, purchasing power, right? It keeps devaluing. The other y-axis on the right, currency in circulation. Okay, the printing of money devalues the currency, the fiat currency, the non-gold backed currency, making your situation worse. Look, here's a chart of prices. And when you run the numbers, the average increase of inflation is 670% over these 3 decades. Now, here's the key question. Did your income go up that much at that rate? Now, that was an old chart. It's worse now. You got to answer that question. And maybe you're feeling helpless. Well, something is here. Something is here for you. And I want to lead you to it, okay? So look, what's eating you? Cool. I love that title. Let's look at a scenario here. Let's say it's 2022 and you got a portfolio of 10K, wherever you're keeping it, bank, whatever your instrument of earning is. And let's say you're getting 5% on that. Okay. Ooh, 5%. Goody. Okay. Now, let's go a year later. Now your portfolio's at 10,500. Okay, maybe you're doing 10%. Good for you. Okay. But look, the buying power is 8,500. Why? Because at 20% inflation, you just lost 1,500 in buying power. Doesn't matter that you're seeing 10,500 on that little piece of paper that your financial advisor sent you. Doesn't matter. What matters is what's it worth. So you see the motorcycle now, you can't buy the full motorcycle. You have to understand this. Let's move ahead to another year. Now your portfolio is up to 1,100. You go, oh yeah, we're doing better, honey. No, you're doing worse. Now you're buying, by the way, these numbers aren't exact. I kept the numbers round, okay, just for illustration. But now the motorcycle, look how much you can buy. You're not winning. Robert Kiyosaki coined a phrase a decade ago, savers are losers. And he was implying when you're saving at these low rates in the banks and whatever instrument you're in. Okay, so you have to understand this. You also have to understand what's going on in the banking system. The banks are broke, folks. Go and try to take out your 60,000. Understand what bail-in laws are. Why bail-ins will be the new bailouts. See, in 2008, the government bailed out banks. On the backs of your tax dollars, by the way, or they just printed more money. Regardless, they're not going to do that now. There's laws called bail-ins. You are classified as an unsecured lender to the bank. You need to understand that. Your money is not safe in the bank. Look at this. Here's the Bank of England. Executing bail-in, an operational guide from the Bank of England. Are you kidding me? Do you get this? I don't keep money in the bank. I keep just enough to pay some bills, but we've been moving into the new system, okay? And I could give you slide after slide after slide of the state of affairs of the world right now. Look, I don't want to install fear into you. You know, there's a great scripture. God has not given you a spirit of fear, but a power and love and sound mind. This is the sound mind part. Be intelligent. You've got the ability to understand this. And even as you watch this, your brain circuits are, oh my goodness, this guy's right. And what am I going to do? And da-da-da. Okay, look at this. Remember Cyprus? That was an experiment, folks. They took people's money. And those people could not even win in court. They're having trouble with banks in Africa. Okay? Bank of America and more. Now look, some great people put this slide together, creating generational wealth in the digital era. That's what I want to lead you to here today. Creating general wealth in a digital era. And maybe you're in a hopeless situation, or maybe you're dissatisfied, or maybe you're ashamed. I want to put that to an end. Okay? I want you to think about that the old ways are not working. You need to understand the new ways. You need to consider that it's time to move out of the old banking system where they've got their eyes all over your assets and they give you a hard time at the bank now saying, sir, what's this money for? Why are you withdrawing it? Where's it going? We're trying to keep you safe. Really? What's really going on? Okay? So we're disrupting the old system. We're helping people move into something called DeFi, decentralized finance over the blockchain. don't worry that you don't know much about it. We've got wonderful education for you so you can understand. And you've got an opportunity here to converge with $3 billion markets. You've got an opportunity to get back in control and get your money working for you well above inflation. In fact, so much so you're going to be able to catch up from years gone by. So listen, please, my purpose for you today was just to wake you up economically with that. I don't care if you got 1,000 in the bank or 10,000 or 100,000 or 1,000,000 or 10 million or 100 million. I don't care. Get back to the person who sent this to you and ask, what is your solution to helping me rise above inflation and have victory in my financial life? Okay, this has been Greg Gary. Thanks for listening. God bless you.
Well, hello, and God bless you, Dr. Greg Gary. Guys, listen, that's why you've been invited to this platform on this evening. That's why a lot of us are already a part of this platform called GS Partners. And so that's what we've done. We've made a decision to take control over our life, okay? So we're going to get on with our agenda. We're going to introduce you to the founder, like I said before. So let's just keep it moving, all right? We understand something is going on with the chat, but we're going to well, hello, it's Greg Gary. Not this time. Let's meet our beautiful founder. She should be on her way back from Seychelles. I saw it was a beautiful event. Our founder is Shelby Casey Thompson. She has an amazing vision for women in cryptocurrency that's a few years old. We get the opportunity to lock arms with her to support this amazing, amazing vision, giving women a space to show up in the cryptocurrency world. She's an educator, she's a mentor, she's a wife and a mother, and she's an entrepreneur. She is definitely a mentor because she's in the background mentoring all of us to get in place and, you know, in other words, get in the space that we've been called, and she's kind of pushing us out of the nest, if you would. Let's keep going. I want to introduce you to our Women in Cryptocurrency, the Faith-Based Edition committee. Some of these faces you've been introduced to before. Sister Yatira spoke to us last week. Beautiful. I think she's coming back from Seychelles as well. I believe she's in the airport on the platform tonight. Pastor Pamela Dixon out of Lansing, Michigan, billionaire Keisha Walker, Dr. Lakeisha McKnight, and our own Nicole. You guys were introduced to her last week. I'm so happy to have them aboard with me and what God has called us to do with the Faith-Based Edition. Little bit about me, guys. I am your host, AKA Queen Jonah. I am a marketplace minister, a financial educator, if you would, in that place, in that space. I'm the CEO of Jonah Stout Enterprises. Primarily, my two roles for the enterprise is I'm a corporate IT program manager, and I'm also a business strategist to global faith-based leaders around the world. I'm also the founder of the Queen Network and the Kingdom Investors Club. That simply is a group of professional men and women, and when it comes to our finances and our relationships, we choose to do things the kingdom way. And you'll see at the bottom, it says, when you empower a woman, you empower a nation. And you guys know that to be the truth, right? Let's keep it moving. So our mission and goal for Women in Cryptocurrency is to empower women with the information and education needed to enter the cryptocurrency industry. We believe that when like-minded individuals come together to support one another, the outcomes are much greater than if we tried to do it alone. That is so true. Our goal is to provide a platform to share information, such as the one that you are on tonight, about an amazing opportunity in the blockchain technology space to help expand your wealth, portfolio, and possibly even finance your dreams. And I want to add just a little bit something to this goal because you're on the Faith-Based Edition, and it is our goal to bring kingdom principles to this platform as a foundation to build that wealth and to expand those legacies, therefore representing God in the kingdom well. Okay, let's keep it moving. So remember I told you, and I've been blasting it all over social media, what is your freedom number? What is that number? You know, a lot of people will try to get a financial advisor and they want you to get that number to show you how much are you going to need when you retire. Now, we're not talking about retirement. We're talking about being free. So what is that number for you? Two things we're going to do tonight. We're going to look at it from a practical perspective, and then I'm going to release Dr. Melissa on y'all in a few minutes. So let's take a look at this practical way of finding out what that number is. You're going to need a pen and paper. No, I'm going to say it again. You're going to need a pen and paper, because when she breaks these down, you're going to be like, what did she say again? No, write it down, and then you figure those numbers out so you'll actually have that figure for yourself.
Do you know how much money you need to be financially independent? If you're working yourself into burnout, doing multiple jobs or side hustles trying to earn more money, but you still feel frustrated because it feels it's so far away that you can become financially free, well, look no further, because in today's video, I'm going to show you exactly how to figure out how much money you need to reach your financial independence, but also how to build a system that allows you to do exactly that. So let's dive in. So what's your number? Most people think that you have to be at least a millionaire in dollars in order to be financially free, but very few have actually done the math. So here's what I want you to do. First of all, write down your age, the age that you currently have, 20, 30, more. Then I want you to write down the age when you want to officially stop working for money, so generating active income. And that could be the age that most people in your country retire at. For example, in Europe, that's somewhere around 65. It could be much, much earlier, like 50, or even sooner. The only thing that you need to keep in mind is that it needs to give you enough time to build a money machine. And I'll explain in a moment what that is and how to do it. But you definitely don't want to say that you want to do that tomorrow or next year, because it doesn't give you enough time, and also it makes you highly dependent on the market circumstances. So what you want is to have at least a 10 to 15 at minimum year time frame for you to build that money machine. This typically covers at least 1 to 2 financial cycles, and then you know for sure that you don't depend on any kind of macroeconomic circumstances, okay? And now comes the fun part. What you do next is you get to dream. So what I want you to do is split a piece of paper or an Excel sheet into 3 sections. Section number 1 is going to be your minimum lifestyle. Section number 2 is going to be your same or similar lifestyle as you currently have. Section number 3 is going to be your ideal lifestyle. Now let's come back to your first section, your minimum lifestyle. This one needs to cover the minimum monthly expenses that you need to be able to cover from your passive income when you stop working or generating any kind of active income. And you need to think about that per month for you and your household, your spouse, your kids, if you have any. And typically what you include here would be your housing. So it could be your mortgage or your lease or your rent. The next section would be your food. So how much do you spend per month on groceries? Then you want to include your health insurance, your transportation. So that could be your car lease or gas. And then you want to include any other kind of monthly expenses that you absolutely must incur. If you have children, that could be their education. All right, now you want to add all of these up and see what is the minimum amount that you need to generate every single month once you reach financial independence. For me, that is somewhere around 7,000 francs. And that is because the lifestyle here in Switzerland is quite expensive, and even minimum expenses tend to be quite high. So what's your number? Are you surprised that is much lower than you expected? Well, I know I was. And a few years ago when I did this exercise for the first time and I realized, well, I'm actually already at that level. I am already making that. It was totally unbelievable. So let's move to the next section. So when you look at your current situation, what are you spending money on that allows you to have the lifestyle that you do? And how much does that realistically cost you every single month? Maybe that's going out every now and then, or maybe going on holidays, or maybe buying clothes and shoes once in a while. Or it could be investing in yourself, in your education through courses and books. Write that down. But I want you to estimate how much it realistically costs you per month. And I think this is a great opportunity for you to go through your monthly expenses and figure out, what are you spending money on that maybe you shouldn't? I can promise you that you will find a few subscriptions that you are still paying for and that you haven't used in a while. Fantastic. Now I want you to add up all of these numbers and create a total for this section. And then add this total with that of the previous section. Congratulations. This is the amount that you need to make in sustainable passive income in order to be able to have the exact same lifestyle that you have right now, but without doing any of the work. I think that's pretty cool, isn't it? I'm curious what your number is. Let me know in the comments down below. In my case, that is about 11,000 francs. Now we move to the next category, which is the most amazing one, and that is your financial freedom number. And here, I want you to add anything that you would like to be able to afford that would make you really, really happy. Maybe that is a better house or a nicer one. How much would that cost you? And I want you to think in mortgage per month, not the total amount that you would pay for that house. But if you were to take a mortgage right now, how much would it cost you per month? Maybe it's a nicer car. How much would you pay to lease that car? Maybe it's going more often on holidays. How much would it be per month? Maybe it's flying business class or first class only. Or maybe going out every single week. You know what that is. Write down everything. And now I want you to add up all of the items in this section and then create a total between section number 3, section number 2, and section number 1. That is your financial freedom number. Comment below and let me know. I'm curious if it is above 10,000. Is it above 100,000? I'm pretty sure that's not the case, because most people, when they do this exercise, they realize that actually they only need at max a couple $100,000 per year to be absolutely happy and financially free. So what's your number? All right, now that you know exactly how much money you need per month or per year to reach that financial freedom, you need now to figure out how much money do you need to save and invest that will be able to generate you this money per month or per year on autopilot. So let's say that you wanted $100,000 per year for your financial independence. Well, assuming a 10% return on investment, that means you would need to raise, save, and invest $1 million by the time you decide to stop generating active income in order for you to be able to afford the lifestyle that you want. And don't worry, you don't need to become a financial expert. There are many calculators out there. I'm going to link a few in the description down below that you can use to back calculate how much money do you need at the age when you want to officially retire so that you can afford that lifestyle. And then it'll also tell you how much money per month you actually need to save and invest in order to be able to reach that goal. Now,
So I'm going to stop it right there, because I believe, and she goes into some details about house, different things that are going on in the market and that type of thing. But I wanted to bring the practical side.
Do you know how much money
I wanted to bring the practical side to you. And now I want to introduce you to Dr. Melissa Hall. You know, she and I met in the Bahamas several years ago. And when I got this message, what is your freedom number? You know, a lot of times we start, you know, I had ladies respond to me in the post when I was doing the marketing piece of this. I got some large numbers, 5 million, 25 million. But I said this in one of the videos that I sent out there. What is that number that will get you out of your head and literally give you the level of freedom that you need right now on your way to millionaire, on your way to billionaire? What is that number? And I was praying, I think it was Sunday, may have been Saturday or Sunday. And I heard the Spirit of God say, some people's number is obedience. Like, what is actually keeping you from being free? Is it $1,000, or is it that God is just asking you to be obedient to something that will yield the $1,000? So I'm not going to preach the message tonight, but that thing hit me like a ton of bricks, that sometimes we got and there's nothing wrong with dreaming. She went through that part. But right now, you could literally be free in that first level just by making sure you have what you need for minimum necessary. You could wake up in peace and go to sleep in peace. So I want to introduce you to Dr. Melissa Hall from Nassau, Bahamas. She's a transformational world-class leader certified under the global brands of John Maxwell and Jack Canfield. She's an entrepreneur, master coach, corporate trainer, and international inspirational speaker with a multifaceted background in law. Yes, she is. Business, government, finance, media, church, and family. As a corporate and commercial attorney, certified financial planner, mediator, image, and etiquette consultant, Dr. Melissa's life mission is to inspire, influence, and impact the lives of women to unlock their leadership potential wherever they are assigned. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Dr. Melissa Hall out of Nassau, Bahamas. Go ahead and take it away, Dr. Melissa.
Hey, well, such a pleasant good evening. Can everybody hear me? I'm so excited to be
I
on. Can you?
know, loud and clear. I didn't tell them how we met, but guys, it was somebody introduced us. And well, I came for a meeting and they were
Yeah,
like, you need to meet this lady. I ended up having dinner with you and your husband, and the rest,
yeah.
as they say, is history. That was several years ago. Anyway, take it away.
It was several years ago. And Queen Jonah, we stayed in connection for all these years because she left an indelible impact on my life, especially when it comes to the area of wealth building from a faith-based perspective. And as you were talking, Queen Jonah, I was thinking to myself, if obedience is perhaps somebody's way or to have their freedom number, I also thought about how faith, a
Mhm.
lot of women overcoming the spirit of fear and really stepping out in faith and really stepping into this space as a
Yes.
result of faith so that they can secure their financial future. And so for me, when I think about this digital space, when I think about blockchain and metaverse certificates and cryptocurrency and all this stuff that I am still trying to learn and master, like it's a
Yes.
whole lot. But one of the things that I do know is that, for me, if God has assigned me to help many women to unlock their leadership potential, their wealth potential, one of the things that we have to do is to stay on the cutting edge and learn how to future proof our lives. And
Mhm.
for me personally, one of the things that occurred in my life, maybe 2018, that really shifted everything about me. I always talked about wealth, attracting it, creating it, managing and protecting it. However, and in 2018, I had an experience that I give God all the praise for that changed the trajectory of my life because I was taught, the whole rich dad, poor dad thing. Go to school, get all this education, become qualified, and you're gonna get a good job. You're gonna be paid well. And I was in a space where I was making six figures. I was enjoying my life. I thought that was good for me back then, and I had a disruption, in the Bahamas. There was a change in the government administration, and I went through a process with the previous administration. And for me, that was a wake up call because everything that I thought or was taught, every traditional strategy that I thought was the key or the way or the access to a lifestyle of freedom was shaken from right under me. And so
Mm.
the system that I was brought up in
Come on.
taught me a particular way. And I got an awakening. And one of the awakenings that came to me, and I want to say this to the women that are on, that are not a part of the GS partners as yet, those of you who are in it, you know where I'm coming from. The awakening came to me, and the Lord said to me, He says, it's time for you to reset your personal economy. And I
Come
was
on.
like, God, what do you mean I must reset my personal economy? And so, as He began to break this down and revelate and help me to understand this, He says, you realize that the system that you were taught up in and you were brought up in, hey, that has failed you. That has not worked for you. So now I need you to begin to think outside of the box, where now the system no longer controls you, but you now take control of your life by doing what you need to do in a space and with a system that will work for you for the future. I'm a mother, I'm a wife, I have a 13-year-old daughter. So I love and I think about building generational wealth for my daughter. And as a result of that, I started to dive in and study a little bit about cryptocurrency. And then even when the pandemic came, I mean, I went deeper into resetting because I realized, hey, this is happening to so many people. We are allowing a system out there to control our destiny. And I'm a woman that believes this, and there are no limitations, no restrictions, no barriers as to where I can go, what I can do, or who I can become, because I have power to get wealth. And when I think about Deuteronomy 8 and 18,
Come
I
on.
thought it was more important for us to now begin to exercise this power that God gave us. You talked about the fact about the discerning of the times and the season. And
Mhm.
so one of the things when you are a woman in cryptocurrency, and when you understand where God is taking us as women. You all know that it was women who funded the ministry of
Come
Jesus.
on.
It was the women
Yes,
who
it
funded
was.
the ministry of Jesus. And so when you begin to understand the paradigm shift and the dynamics of where God is taking his people and what he is creating as an opportunity for access for you and I to occupy, do business until he returns, then you have to make a financial mindset shift that is going to change the trajectory of your destiny. And that is what I have done. I have made a decision that I was going to follow God. And as the Lord spoke to me, he says, daughter, if you're going to be a cutting edge woman, if you're going to follow and keep up with the trends, if you're going to understand and discern the times and the seasons of which we exist, you need to get involved. And so I reached out to Samantha Babs. I'm sure you all would have had her on this session previously before. And listen, we have been working this in Nassau, Bahamas. We have been helping one another. I'm a firm believer that you can have everything in life that you want if you help more people get what they want. And I know that there are a lot of people that do not understand that they're operating in fear. They just don't want to touch this whole new paradigm shift or even enter into the space where there are new rules to building wealth because of all of the uncertainties that may have happened. But one of the things I want to encourage women is that you got to hear the voice of God. If you are in tune with the voice of God, if you are discerning and you understand what's happening, you will take action and make the right type of investments that is going to help build a financial secure freedom for you and your family. And so this digital space keeps me excited. It keeps me enthused. It keeps me learning, keeps me trending, keeps me trying to understand what's happening and really flowing in the direction that which God has predestined for me as I help to empower other women. And so for me, I just want to challenge the women as I conclude tonight that whatever you're going through, whatever your situation was, some people lose their jobs, some people go through divorces, their disability, there's death. There are all of these, what I call the dreaded D's. And these sometimes happen in your life because God is trying to get a message to you. He wants you to wake up and understand that's what's happening so that you don't miss out on opportunities that are right in the front of you that gives you the opportunity to take control. And so I want to encourage women today that are on this platform, think about how you can reset your personal economy. What are you going to do different? How are you going to break out of that Babylonian system?
Come on.
How are you going to walk away from the traditional ways when God is saying this is a season of innovation? This is a season of creativity. This is a season for you to maximize blockchain, metaverse, learn, NFTs, begin to study and understand the movement. And of course, I want to leave you with this. The fact of the matter is that when you go through a situation that causes you to pause and have to reset, reposition your life, you're going to think about diversification. In the Bible, I believe it was Ecclesiastes 11 and 2. It says, listen to me, you have to invest 7 or 8 ways.
Come on.
You have to set yourself up 7 or 8 ways because you do not know. I thought I had it all together. I thought everything was, I had everything in order for me. You do not know when disaster will come upon you. And so now is the time for you to reset, reposition your life, and begin to reinvent who you are as a person and become a cutting edge woman that's going to ensure that the generational wealth that God wants you to have will be secure and you can walk in a lifestyle of freedom, of purpose, of destiny, doing all the things that God has predestined and ordained for you to do. Listen, we are breaking the back of poverty over the lives of women. When there's a crisis in the nation, he used women. He used the Esthers, the Deborahs. Let me tell you, the Lydias, the Dorcas. There are many of you out there who carry those different mantles. But I'm telling you, you got to get into this space so that you can understand where God is taking women, because we are carrying an anointing to help shape, mold, reset, and define what the future looks for generations to come. I end like that.
Girl. Y'all see how she did that? I end like that. That is like conducive to, I dropped the mic. That was absolutely amazing. And I so agree. You know, when you start talking about the women in the Bible and you study Deborah and how God used Deborah, right? And it basically said it, and not to put men down, because we need it. We love our kings and we need our kings. But in that moment, he could not find a man that would step into that space, so he used her. This is the time for us to step into a space, and I say the Harriet Tubmans of our families and the Harriet Tubmans of our legacy, because it's up to us. It's this generation that this has been put in place. We've got to take it and run with it. You're right. We don't have time for fear. Absolutely amazing. You know, when you and I get together, it is straight fire. So I'm so excited. I'm so excited to have you on here tonight, but I'm thinking about something that you said about women in fear. It hit me again because it's kind of what we talked about a couple of weeks ago, that, you know, some women feel like they're stuck in certain situations. And it's funny how when you present this opportunity to people, they can know all the things that's going on with them, Dr. Melissa.
Yeah.
But they sit in a room or they'll sit on a Zoom or on a phone call and they see it. But then life comes in, and what would you say to a woman who's sitting out here right now, will possibly listen to this replay or is on here tonight, and that's her story? Mm-hmm. Somebody has introduced this opportunity to her and she knows she needs to do something, that where she is right now is just not working. What'd you say to her? I know other than what you've already said, but if you were having a personal conversation with her and knew what was going on, what would you say to her?
You know, I would say to her, think about the future. The future. Right now, you know, all of us are going through something right now. Right now, I mean, you had a situation, I had a situation. Our present circumstances will cause us, if we focus on that, will cause us to remain stuck and stagnated. What you need to do is to use the power of imagination. Because I think when you talk about the metaverse world, it's a lot about imagination. You have to use your imagination and design the lady who was talking about the freedom number, your ideal lifestyle. You have to design and frame and reframe and reset what your future is going to look like for you. So you can't just get stuck in the moment. I know this is where I'm at right now. I know this is what you are going through right now. But what you need to do is to step back and look at where you're going, what the future is going to look like, because trouble don't last always.
Right.
This
Come
is
on.
only temporary for
only
you.
Temporary.
And so what you need to do as you think about the future, you also need to operate in a level of faith. So there's something tangible or intangible that you need to do so that you can begin to now say, you know what, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to take a small amount of this. The woman, she had a jar of oil.
Yep.
You take your jar of oil, whatever that is. It could be a sacrificial seed. It could be what, $55? How much is it to get started in this? What, 55?
Oh, you talking about the membership, $33, and get started and get your certificates and let's keep it moving. Go ahead.
That's my point. Take that small but jar of oil, whatever that is. And you know what? I'm not going to allow what I'm going through right now. I'm going to take this. I'm going to invest this. I'm going to get started because my future is ahead of me. So I would say use your imagination, begin to dream again, begin to reimagine what it is your future is going to look like, and do not allow your present circumstances to keep you stuck or stagnated, because it's only temporary.
It is only temporary. Put that in the chat. Only temporary. It is only temporary. Thank you so much, Dr. Melissa, for coming tonight and sharing with us. You're a firecracker. I just absolutely love you. I love you. I love you. Guys, let's give it up for our speaker tonight. We're going to keep it moving. Dr. Melissa Hall out of Nassau, Bahamas. So what's about to happen now? Our final comments. I don't know if our founder's on. We always want to yield to her. I know she's traveling. We also have our Women in Crypto, the Faith-Based Edition committee. And while they're coming to the platform and giving their final comments about what they've heard tonight, ladies, if you have any questions about anything that you've seen tonight, we want you to take them to the Q&A, and our committee is going to take up, review them, and we'll get those answered for you. Who's going to be our first person? Is it Dr. Lakeisha McKnight? I'm going to call her out.
All right, let's see. Let's get the camera on, ladies. Woo! Let me tell you something. Dr. Melissa Hall, my goodness. I was about to get up and run around this house several times over. Amazing. Ladies, listen, you all need to put some more fire emojis in the comments, because I'm telling you, you're gonna have to go back and listen to this over and over and over again.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even feel like I need to say anything else. Like, I feel like if I say something, it's just gonna be redundant on what you've already said. It's just mind-boggling. And the fact that, you all have to realize the power that worketh in you.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
The power that worketh in you, mm-hmm, and through you to be able to reach more women.
That's it.
You see, you can think about it. The first woman who went into the village, right?
Mm-hmm.
Had that encounter with Jesus. What'd she say? Come see the man. Woo-hoo-hoo, come see a man. Listen. And that's exactly what we need to be doing.
Yeah.
We need to go out. We need to share this message.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, we need to become the message first.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, come on.
And then be able to go out and share the message. And so, Dr. Melissa, I mean, God bless you. God bless you. Whenever you get me speechless, I don't even know what else to say. Again, for those of you who came tonight, you are in for a treat. You are in for an absolute treat. Get back with the person who invited you here. It is time to build this wealth. We know that we have this moment. And so we have to take advantage of this moment that we have. This is the only time that we know that is guaranteed. This moment, because tomorrow is not guaranteed. The next hour is not guaranteed.
Come on. Absolutely.
So let's apply what we have right now. Apply these principles, and more will be unveiled to you. So again, thank you so very much for allowing me to speak.
Awesome. Thank you, Dr. Lakeisha. All right, Powerhouse from Lansing, Michigan, Pastor Pamela Dixon. Come on and unmute yourself and get off the video thing. Go ahead, beautiful lady.
Thank you. Oh, Dr. Melissa Hall, you said it all. I mean, like Dr. Keisha said, what else is there to say? You covered it all, okay? God has given us the power to get wealth. Mm-hmm. We have, in terms of women, God has used us from the beginning to the end. Like he said, Esther. But even to Jesus going to his grave, it took 2 women who went there, and he is risen. And they ran back and told, come on, he is risen, he's alive. Okay, the woman at the well, yes, Jesus told her who she was. And so if we just take a look within and allow the Lord to use us and show us what our purpose is down here on this life, what our destiny is down here.
That's right.
We're in for a great, we're in right now.
We're in it, exactly.
Transfer. We are in it.
We are in it.
Yes, we're supposed to be living the abundant life. We're supposed to be enjoying life, okay? He's given us the power to use that creative wealth that he has given us. But we got to have knowledge, like what Dr. Curry said. Okay, it's education. Mm-hmm. It's understanding the things that's going on around us. Not only is there education and getting that knowledge, he says, my people are distracted for lack of knowledge.
Yes.
That's mean ignorance or rejecting knowledge. One of the two. We're sharing the word. We're giving in terms of financial literacy, something that we did not get in our system, traditional system. They didn't teach us this in school.
Nope. Sure did not.
They did not teach us this in school. And so now that we're learning this, now that we're understanding this, now what we have to do is apply it. We have to apply the things that we're learning. We have got to get out of that fear. We're not fear-based. We're faith-based. We walk by faith, not by sight. Okay? God is not giving us that spirit of fear. He said power, love, a sound mind. And we got to take what we have, apply it, use it, start building assets, generational assets. The word said, owe no man nothing.
Nothing.
But to love them.
To
Nothing
love
but
him.
to
That's
love
it.
them. That's all we supposed to be in debt to. Okay, that's it. So what do you have in your house? Like
Come
that
on.
with the woman, the widow, who husband passed. He said they want to take my 2 boys and put them in bondage. He said, what do you have in your house? We all have something that's in our home that we really do not need, that we can take and get rid of and put it in an asset. Okay. So what do you have in your house? What's your freedom number? What do you need to be able to come out of bondage? But thank you, Dr. Melissa Hall. Thank you, because you said it all. Thank you, Dr. Keisha McKnight. Yes, and thank you all for allowing me to share with you all this evening. I turn it back over to you.
Awesome. Guys, I'm telling y'all, week after week after week, you guys are going to hear more from these 2 ladies. You don't want to miss an episode. I'm here to tell you. All right, we're going to take it over to her. She's our producer. She's in the background working things out. And thank you for being a part of this group as well. Miss Nicole, you want to come so we can get this, give us your comments, if you have comments, and take us into the WIC news.
Absolutely. Woo! I tell you what, this is not a good moment to have to bring out the news. Oh, we appreciate you so much, Dr. Hall. That was fire. We are definitely resetting our personal economy. So we've got the Let's Go Week in Atlanta coming up real soon. That will be this month, March 24th to the 25th. If you have not reserved or gotten your tickets, you are really on your way to missing a life-changing event. We've got the WIC brunch that's Sunday, March 26th from 11 a.m. till 1 p.m. I have been told that we are on waiting lists, so make sure that you're listening out for those calls if you have been waitlisted so that you do not miss the call for any cancellations. We've got the WIC Faith-Based Edition Monday, March 27th. Now, if you were blessed today, make sure that you come back. You do not want to miss the next session. That will be again March 27th at 7 p.m. Eastern. We'll have a new Zoom ID, which is also noted here. Make sure you take a snapshot of this frame for us. And then we've got our Family Development Day, personal development. That's led by Sister Deb Nixon. You don't want to miss that on Sundays at 2 p.m. Eastern. And then, of course, if you haven't already, make sure that you take action on your Olympus quarterly payback rewards. That is in your back office at the top and left corner where you'll see BD Swiss. You'll want to make sure all your weekly rewards have already been completed before you compound your quarterly. Do you have an event within the community? We want to know about it. Make sure that you forward it to any of the ladies on the WIC committee. We'll be listening out for you to make sure that both your flyer and your announcement are included. We appreciate you so much for joining us today. I yield the mic back to you, John.
Awesome. Great job. I love working with you ladies. Y'all amazing. Amazing. This is Dr. Melissa coming here and lit us all up. Guys, I just wanted to talk about where you can find us. We have our own YouTube channel. If you go out to YouTube, search us by putting in Team Freedom Presents Women in Crypto at GSP Women in Crypto. We also have a Facebook page. Ladies will be putting the link inside of the chat. I hope you guys enjoyed this tonight. I think what I want to do before we chime out is I want to ask, do we have any questions in the Q&A that we can kind of get answered, or have you guys answered those? Let me see what's going on there. Do we have any hands raised? I think I do. I feel like if we have a hand, maybe we can take 1 or 2. Let me see what our time. We can take, yep, we're right on time. So maybe 1 or 2 hands if they're raised, and then we're out of here, ladies. And we're all headed to Atlanta. Go ahead. Anybody, any questions in the Q&A?
Queen Jonah.
Yes.
Just remind them in terms of the brunch, even though it's sold out, they still can come and support.
Okay. Thank you. You guys did exactly what I said. Please, if I forget to talk about this, remind me. Absolutely, Pastor Pamela Dixon. Listen, we have a room that has been maxed out, yes, but there is open seating in the restaurant. We want you to come anyway. You'll be able to come in on the festivities on the front end and still be able to eat in the restaurant, okay? Yes, we've maxed out for that room, but we have not maxed out for the entire restaurant. So please get on the wait list so you can get the information with the rest of the ladies. Thank you, Pastor Pamela. I appreciate that. Any questions in our Q&A? Or if not, we're signing off because Dr. Melissa lit us up tonight.
Fire.
Any questions or hands raised? Yes, no?
I do see Evangelist Hattie Hall. She had her hand up.
Okay, can we bring her up? Or unmute her, let her talk?
Okay, she's unmuted.
Okay, Evangelist Hattie Hall, you have the mic. Are you there? Mic check, mic check. All right,
Hello,
going once.
can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Okay, every time I unmute, it mutes back. But anyhow, I don't have any questions or nothing like that, but I wanted to join in to thank Dr. Melissa for bringing that word today. And I wanted to say to the women that's here, if your heart was picked, it was picked for a reason, because the presence of the Lord was in the house. When she spoke, that's all you could feel was the Spirit of the Lord. So if you were
Amen.
picked tonight, that means you need to move. You
Okay.
need to move and move quickly, because we are true the women of God, and we are led by God, and we're going to do things. We're going to do business God's way. That's all I
Amen.
had to say.
Amen, and thank you for those comments. All right, ladies, we're getting ready to get up out of here. Thank you for joining us tonight. We'll see you in 2 weeks, but tomorrow night on goldrocks.info, Women in Cryptocurrency, we'll be back. You don't want to miss it. Send out those texts tonight. Like, we're going to go out with this. This is my favorite
There's
song.
just
It's like
one
my,
more hand raised. There's one more hand raised.
go ahead. Yeah, sure. If we can allow that person to talk. Testing, testing.
Okay, she has to unmute herself. She's unmuted on our end.
Okay.
It's Deborah Adams.
Deborah, you have the mic, darling. Going once.
Good night, ladies. You all,
There you are.
I'm so sorry. This is my first night of attending, but everything was
Okay.
lovely. I'm intrigued, and I'm making every effort to try to get my money together so I can join. Thank
Okay,
you
baby.
so much. Have a great time in Georgia.
Thank you so much. And we're going to, in advance, welcome you to the family. Get
Thank
back to the person that sent you to the call, okay?
you. Okay.
Awesome. All
Bye.
right, ladies.